Hello, good evening and welcome to Joy News Prime. We are coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. I'm Carlos Kaloni.
And I'm Faustina Safo. Tonight, Parliament sitting abruptly adjourned following the passing of MP for Akwatia, Ernest Kumi. We have details as the news brought soberness and tears to the chamber.
And MPP supporters threaten a naked demonstration at EOCO headquarters if former buffer stock boss is not released by close of day following his 13 days detention.
Also tonight, lawyers of Patricia Siedu, popularly known as Agradaa, appeal against 15 years jail term as they cite bias, intimidation and harassment from presiding judge in the trial process.
Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism.
It's a good time to take a seat and please be our guest.
Well, Parliament was forced to suspend its activities today to mourn the sudden passing of Akwatia MP Ernest Kumi. The minority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, announced the MP's death and paid tribute to his promising political career, requesting the session's adjournment. All scheduled businesses, including bills and statements, was put on hold as MPs paid their respect. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante report.
It was a usual Monday in Parliament. MPs were coming in ahead of sitting starting at 2 p.m. But with few minutes to strike 1 o'clock on the clock, the news started filtering in that MP for Akwatia, Ernest Kumi, had passed on. As MPs began to enter the chamber for the day's business, many, especially on the minority side, were visibly shaken, some drawn to tears. Akuapem North MP Sami Oku, whose seat is right in front of the deceased MPs, was teary. While MP for Efija Seche East, Mavis Nkansa Boadu, also shed tears. The deceased MP seat now draped in red cloth. When proceedings began, the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, made the obvious official.
This morning, we were informed that one of us has been summoned to the Parliament Abel, referring to our brother, Ernest Kumi of Akwatia.
Suggested that proceedings for the day be truncated.
It is the prayer of this side of the House, the NPP Minority Caucus, of 88, regrettably -1, to pray with the indulgence of the leader of the House that today's proceedings be terminated.
Majority Leader Mahama Yarega was not opposed.
A young man of his age will need and to be taken away from us at this stage in his life. It's not only a loss to his family, it's not only a loss to Akwatia as a constituency, it's a loss to Ghana because we wouldn't know where he would have ended up in terms of the leadership of this country.
Parliament then observed a minute's silence and then stood adjourned to Tuesday.
Before the end of this week or early next week, we expect that the family will formally inform Parliament of the death of the Member of Parliament for Akwatia. This will trigger the constitutional imperative for the Speaker and the Clerk to Parliament to inform the Electoral Commission of the vacancy that has occurred by virtue of the death of the Member of Parliament for processes to begin for a by-election to be conducted. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
Well, supporters of the opposition New Patriotic Party have vowed to leave not to leave the headquarters of the Economic and Organized Crime Office if the former buffer stock boss, Abdul Wahab Hanan, who has been in detention for 13 days, is not released by close of day. Abdul Wahab Hanan and his wife were arrested by EOCO on June 25 over alleged financial crimes. His wife has since been granted bail, which was set at 30 million cedis. But Hanan, according to authorities, is yet to satisfy the conditions of his 60 million Ghana cedis bail. There's more in the following report.
The headquarters of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, EOCO, is once again the center of attraction following the arrest and detention of the former boss of buffer stock, Abdul Hanan, who has been in custody for well over 10 days. Well, his wife was also arrested, but has since been granted a 30 million cedis bail, but he remains in detention. Now, members of the New Patriotic Party have besieged the premises of EOCO headquarters, demanding his immediate release. Former Greater Accra Regional Youth Organizer of the MPP, Moses Abo, says his arrest is politically motivated.
This is politics. They are playing as politics. I don't know if they will allow you to go in. You can go and find out from the investigator. We have met the bail condition, even more than that. But they are showing us power. But wait to see.
Have they told you why they've still kept him in custody, though you've met the bail condition as you claim?
Nobody's even answering the call. The boss and his deputy. We've been calling them since 2 days ago.
Well, the constituency secretary of the MPP in the Pusiga constituency also say they are not living here until Hanan is granted bail.
Today, the other release Alhaji Hanan, or they lock all of us there. They should arrest all of us and lock there. We are not going home till Alhaji Hanan is granted bail. Look, we can't be intimidated. We are ready. No matter what. We are going to fight for our right. We are all Ghanaians.
Well, not long ago, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Chairman Wuntumi, was also detained in this very building, which saw similar scenes of party supporters trooping here to demand his release. And a similar scene is panning out here. They say they'll continue to be here until he's finally released from the headquarters of EOCO. My name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Well, let's explore our earlier story further. Azo Kwesi is our reporter on the ground and is joining us live from the Akwatia MP's residence at Achim Winchi. We appreciate your time here on the Pulse. Tell me, what's the atmosphere like on the ground?
Thank you very much. Currently at Akwatia constituency, Winchi precisely. This is where Ernest Kumi is coming from, his hometown. We got here around 4:30. As I'm talking to you right now, all the residents here are very sad. They are mourning their former MP, Ernest Kumi. Currently, I went to his family house. Their brothers, his uncle, and some of their relatives are also mourning Ernest Kumi. What they are saying is that they are very shocked after hearing sad news of his demise. So they are praying that they will give him a befitting barrier, and also the MPP, the New Patriotic Party, can also get someone better to succeed him in Parliament as well. And besides, all the residents here, they are clad with red and black, mourning Ernest Kumi. What they are saying is their MP is very dedicated and very down to earth. So what has happened has really shocked them. So they are in mourning. They are member of parliament currently at his hometown, Achimwenchi.
And based on your interactions with individuals in his hometown, did they give details as to what exactly led to his demise?
What they said was they had the news that Ernest wasn't feeling well this very afternoon, and she has passed away. A lot of them said they were doubting that why their MP, a very energetic and very serious youth like this, how this happened to him. So they were down until they got information from the family that indeed Ernest has passed away. So they were shocked. They were shocked with the news. They were shocked.
We appreciate your time here on Joy News Prime. Well, Ernest Kumi has a long profile, and we have been detailing that in this report.
Ernest Kumi, Member of Parliament for Akwatia, hailed from Akim Wenchi and was a member of the New Patriotic Party. Born on December 5, 1984, the 41-year-old lawmaker was a Christian and a first-time MP. Before entering Parliament, he built a strong academic and professional foundation. He held a BSc in Ports and Shipping Administration from the Regional Maritime University, an MBA in Corporate Governance from the University of Professional Studies, an LLB in Law from Mount Crest University College, and an MSc in Defense and International Politics from the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. Professionally, he served as Senior Manager for Securities, Admin, and FRS at the American Tower Corporation. Kumi entered Parliament in 2025, winning one of the most hotly contested and politically charged seats, Akwatia. The Akwatia constituency became a flashpoint during the 2024 elections. Ballot collation was disrupted amid chaos, forcing officials to move the process from the eastern region to Accra.
We know that we have won the elections. We are confident we have won the elections. And so any attempt to rig the elections will be resisted.
The NDC subsequently filed a legal challenge leading to a Koforidua High Court injunction that barred Kumi from holding himself out as MP. Despite the injunction, Kumi appeared in Parliament and took the oath on January 7, triggering contempt proceedings and a bench warrant for his arrest.
So the court at this point has found him guilty. That's the meaning of the conviction. When the court says that you are convicted, it means that you are guilty of the offense.
However, on June 11, 2025, the Supreme Court quashed the contempt charge and restrained the High Court judge from proceeding with sentencing.
Contempt application, its hearing, and the subsequent conviction on it all has been quashed. So as we speak right now, Honorable Ernest Kumi remains the MP.
On the floor of Parliament, he filed at least 3 statements and actively participated in debates. One of his statements, however, sparked fierce resistance from the majority side. Ernest Kumi served on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee. At just 41, his life and career were cut short. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Well, the opposition New Patriotic Party has filed an interlocutory injunction on the planned rerun of elections in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. The election, which is scheduled for Friday, July 11, is expected to help complete the collation of the parliamentary result after a 7-month-long delay. With just 4 days to that election, the NPP has filed a case, praying the court to halt the process. Member of the our legal affairs team, Kweku Asante, joins us via Zoom with details. Kweku, what are the reliefs being sought by the NPP?
So this action has been filed by the NPP's parliamentary candidate in that election, who is seeking to stop the election from going ahead this Friday. We know that the Electoral Commission has already made plans. The Ghana Police Service and other persons have all indicated their readiness to provide the necessary security for that election to go on next Friday. Actually, this Friday, actually. The candidate is asking the High Court to, by order of judicial review, decide that the Electoral Commission decision to order a rerun in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North is unconstitutional. It has no basis in law, and that, in fact, the earlier High Court order, the constituency election should actually be done by way of recollation exercise and not a rerun. And so that is the ultimate injunction. That is the ultimate relief she is seeking from the High Court to stop the Electoral Commission from going ahead. But because this election is going on Friday and the matter will be filed today, and it's not likely that the matter will be disposed of before Friday, she has also filed an application for an interlocutory injunction asking the High Court to injunct the Electoral Commission from going ahead with that election. The court is yet to set a date for the hearing of that injunction application. But as we know, the Supreme Court has decided that the mere filing of an injunction application without an order by a court of competent jurisdiction would not stop a state institution from going ahead to decide on matters like this. And so if nothing changes, it would appear that the Electoral Commission will get the green light to go ahead and conduct an election on Friday, unless the NPP's parliamentary candidate is able to get a court to sit on the injunction application early enough and then make any orders. Carlos.
All right. Thank you so much for those details.
Away from that, lawyers for Chief Priestess turned evangelist Patricia Siedu, popularly known as Agradaa, have filed an appeal against her 15-year jail term. Agradaa was sentenced by an Accra Circuit Court for defrauding people through false money doubling schemes. Her lawyers have today filed an appeal to challenge the sentence and the severity of that sentence. Well, on your screens now are details of some of the reliefs they are seeking in that case that they have filed at the court appealing that 15-year jail term. Number one, it says the conviction and sentence should be set aside as the judgment is unreasonable and cannot be supported by the evidence on record. Point number two, they say the whole trial is wrong in law. Now, what are the grounds for their reliefs? They are stating that the trial judge denying the petitioner fair trial by calling her to provide her innocence, to prove her innocence, when prosecution had led no or insufficient evidence, contrary to Article 19(2)(c) of the 1992 Constitution. The trial judge demonstrated manifest bias and personal animosity towards the petitioner by persistently engaging in confrontations, harassment, and intimidation of the accused lawyers in open court, thereby denying her adequate and effective representation. They go on to state that the sentence of 15 years is harsh and excessive, taking into consideration the circumstances of the case. Now, they state that what is important is that this appeal is filed in the absence of the full written ruling of the judge. So they are likely to amend this when the final ruling is out. Moving on, academic work at the Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is facing fresh disruption as the ongoing nationwide strike by the Tertiary Education Workers Union, Ghana, begins to bite hard on the campus. Just as students sit for their mid-semester examination, the strike declared last week over the alleged refusal of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission to recognize the union's representation on the University Governing Council has left critical non-teaching services at a standstill. But TEU GH insists their action is indefinite until their concerns are addressed by the government and GTEC. And Awachi Adam has more in the following report.
The strike by the Tertiary Education Workers Union has been biting hard on the KNUST campus. Cleaners, supporters, security personnel, and other essential support staff have all laid down their tools, creating sanitation and administrative challenges across lecture halls, examination centers, and offices. Students, some of whom turned up for exams this morning, say the strike is already having a noticeable impact with unkempt exams of use and the absence of porters at key entry points. But the KNUST chairman of TEU Ghana, Charles Arthur, says the group is resolute.
The truth of the matter is that the strike is a lawful one. So the place that they are going to have a mid-semester, it is we who controls it. We open it and clean it. We will just close it. And if you close it and you said you're a lecturer, you open it, then whatever will happen will happen. So we are still insisting that Minister of Education and Minister of Employment and Labour Relations should sit down and resolve this matter straightforward, because Minister of Information, Minister of Jobs and Labour Relations, Labour Department comes to you, is your agency. Minister of Education, GTEC is your agency. So what is it that you cannot say to the extent that people will have to go on strike? We don't understand.
The university's dumping site remains packed with waste. Charles Arthur says until their demands are met, the strike will continue.
Strike, we are saying we gave 2 demands. One, he should withdraw the letter that he has sent to the various public universities to allow a minority group, TUC, to go onto the council. And then two, we should go to the verification and count every university. They come to KNUST, they count us, we know that KNUST is still Ghana, then still Ghana will lead in KNUST. You go to Legon, it's still TUC, they will lead. You go, then that will bring, what do you call it, peace and harmony. If that is not done, then this strike we have a long way to go. And it's likely this strike, if with nothing is done, it will affect the main examination, because the main examination, we are not going to allow it to happen that we have allowed May semester. May semester has already been scheduled, and we think that we have to go. The main examination will not allow that. And whatever that they want to do, they can do it. If they want to kill us, we are prepared. Our members are here, they are prepared that they should kill all of us, and we'll leave. If we are not Ghanaians and they want to treat us the way they want to treat us, if we are coming from Niger, they should tell us that we are Nigerians, and therefore this is how they will treat the Niger people. But if we are Ghanaians, then we are saying that this strike, look, it will affect the main examination if nothing is done.
For Joe News, Nana Boachidankwe Yadom, Kumasi.
Let's stay a bit longer in Kumasi, because the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital is urgently seeking to build a catheterization laboratory after the tragic death of one of its emergency physicians, Dr. Kwame Edu-Ofori. Dr. Ofori suffered a heart attack, and despite his colleagues' efforts to save him, they couldn't perform the necessary procedure to open the blocked blood vessel due to the absence of a cath lab at the hospital. He was being transported to Accra for treatment, but sadly passed away en route. Now, the lack of this critical facility has raised serious concerns about Ghana's medical infrastructure, particularly in public health facilities. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku reports.
It was a gloomy weekend at Ghana's second largest teaching hospital, the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital, after health professionals watched helplessly to seek urgent medical attention for a colleague who suffered a myocardial infarction, otherwise known as heart attack. A specialized area to perform a minimally invasive procedure to diagnose and treat an obstructed blood vessel to his heart was missing at Ashanti Region's foremost hospital. Despite immediate response to stabilize him before being transported to the national capital for proper care, he died on the way. CEO of CATH, Dr. Pakwesi Bedu, recounts moments of the unfortunate demise.
3 consultants accompanied him to the airport, and then 1 specialist and 2 critical care nurses accompanied him on the flight to Accra. We were in constant touch from takeoff to touchdown. So when they got to Accra, we were told, they've arrived safely and he was okay. So they transferred him. Arrangements again were made to send him to UGMC, University of Ghana Medical Center. They also have a cardiac cath lab. We got the unfortunate news later. So it's devastating.
Dr. Kwame Edu-Ofori, before his passing, was an emergency physician at the hospital who contributed actively to providing emergency medical care to critically ill patients, but sadly couldn't save himself. Despite calls for successive governments to construct a cath lab for the facility, it has fallen on deaf ears.
We have 2, the monoplanar, biplanar. These are technical terms. The best one is the biplanar. It's able to do everything. And it costs between $1.2 to $1.5 million. The ministry is working on it. NHIA boss, Dr. Victor Vampo, and the team are working on it. In fact, this morning they are having a meeting to make sure we have one again in Kolebu, one in Kumasi, and one in Tamale. And it's a matter of urgency.
Health professionals at the hospital anticipate an immediate construction and completion of the specialized laboratory to end the numerous avoidable cardiac deaths. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright-Kweku.
Well, it was supposed to be just another school day, but it turned into a nightmare. 4 months after a fatal crash ripped through the lives of dozens of school children in a tragic road accident, families are still trying to piece together what's left. One of them is Letitia, just 13, now missing an arm and living with a story of grief. Stephen Mensah brings us her survival and the long road ahead.
Tisha was among more than 40 pupils from Ben Kunedu SDA Basic School at Konongo, Odumasi, Ashanti Region. on an excursion to Akosombo when tragedy struck. Their bus lost control whilst descending the steep Asesiso hills between Edukrom and Somanya in the eastern region, killing 2 and injuring 15 of her mates. Investigators now say the bus had no valid insurance. The trip, once filled with excitement, ended in blood and heartbreak.
When I walk through town, children stare at me. They are curious to see what my hand looks like. I am appealing to Ghanaians to help me get my hand treated.
At just 13, Letitia has endured major surgery, lost her arm, and missed months of school.
When the accident happened, I struggled to get up because the bus had fallen on my hand. I remember tapping my friend, hoping she would help me, but she was unresponsive too. Eventually, I was rescued, but when I regained consciousness, I found myself in a hospital bed. My hand had been amputated.
Her mother says the last 4 months have been nothing short of torment, emotionally, physically, and financially.
She used to help me with the house chores, but now she can't. Her friend has to come home to carry her backpack so they can walk to school together. I'm pleading with Ghanaians to help me get my daughter's hand treated.
Another victim, Nanamwa, at just 11 years, has undergone 3 surgeries and numerous stitches. He's still in pain.
The driver was speeding. The next thing I saw was the car flipping onto its side. I was thrown from my seat with people landing on top of me.
Help has come from the Accident Victim Support Foundation, which is helping bring some relief to the affected families. The foundation's president, Reverend Cyril Crabb, is calling for more assistance for the over 30 children who sustained various degrees of injury.
We at the Accident Victim Support are doing everything humanly possible to bring some kind of solution to all road users.
More than 60 people were on that bus, and while the physical wounds may eventually heal, the emotional scars and the pursuit of justice remain. Stephen Mensah's report for Joy News.
You're still watching the Joy News Prime with me, Carlos Kaloni, and of course,
Ostina Safa. We'll be back after this quick turn. Please stay tuned in.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us.
For other stories now, the Ghana Police Service is calling for a nationwide ban on the use of firearms at funerals, festivals, and other public gatherings due to a surge in casualties from reckless gunfire. Recent incidents have resulted in deaths and serious injuries, often affecting innocent bystanders. The police describe this trend as disturbing and endangering lives and believed tighter regulations are necessary to prevent further harm. Stephen Mensah has more in the following report.
The Ghana Police Service has issued a stern warning about the growing trend of firing guns at public events such as festivals and ceremonies, citing it as illegal and a threat to public safety. In a media briefing earlier today, the police service described the development as not only illegal, but also a direct threat to public safety and community peace. Superintendent Julian Obeng is head of public affairs for the Ghana Police Service in the Greater Accra region.
So there are rules and regulations surrounding possession and the use of firearms, and anybody who's come to the police to request or to get one has thoroughly gone through that process. Having said that, I think that we all should be part in engaging the general public on the education on the use of firearms and the risk involved if you are not in lawful possession of it.
Recent incidents, including a student's death in Bimbila, the murder of a Queen Mother in Bawe, and a journalist's near-fatal eye injury, have been linked to celebratory gunfire. The police says a key suspect in the death of Queen Mother Peona Dodua is assisting with investigations.
Acting on intelligence from the Accra Regional Police Intelligence Team, a team was dispatched and moved swiftly to Asokore, where we arrested Gilbert Awuni alias Starboy, his 21 years, and an Okada rider, and a resident of Denchua here in Accra. He has confessed to the crime during interrogation that he fired the weapon in display under the influence of alcohol and fled the scene thereafter. Efforts are underway to recover the firearm which he claimed to have discarded after the incident.
Meanwhile, the Small Arms Commission is urging Parliament to pass and implement the proposed Small Arms and Light Weapons Bill. The bill is expected to help tighten regulation and control the circulation of firearms across the country.
At the moment, the laws we have governing the use of firearms and the rest is over 50 years old. Fortunately, there's been a review of the law of the bill. We have a bill that is pending, hopefully, to go to Parliament. It's at the ministerial level to be passed into law. And all these ingredients are captured in the law, because then you expect them to use non-lethal ammo. But unfortunately, to the extent that some of them use M16, these are full automatic weapons.
For Joy News, Stephen Mensah.
Well, it was built for about 700 inmates, but today thousands are crammed inside the Nsawam medium security prison. A clogged justice system, endless remand cases, and inmates without legal support. Joy News' Stephen Mensah takes us behind the walls, where hope is running out and justice feels like a distant dream.
In Nsawam medium security prison, there is barely room to breathe. Built to hold 717 inmates, it now holds more than 5 times its capacity. The results: overcrowding, poor living conditions, and a justice system grinding at a painful pace.
I'm a lawyer. I pay my lawyer for my first time, but he's not attending to me.
Meet Leonard. He's been on remand for 8 years. No trial, no conviction, and no idea when or if justice would ever be served.
My CID just presented me only 3 times at court. Like my last court that I went was last year, 13th June 2024. Till now, no court, no anything.
Leona's story is not unique. It reflects a widespread problem. Hundreds of inmates are stuck in limbo, waiting endlessly in a system stretched thin. Legal aid is scarce. Representation is a luxury.
Till now, court doesn't ask anything from me. I'm not sentenced, I'm in remand.
Kwame, just 24, is serving a 15-year sentence for robbery and assault. Now, he believes an appeal could change his fate if only someone would help him file one.
Mini lawyer. Mini scanty be my yaska high bintino, court for my lawyer. Minya boa for minya nyapi, by me proceed there maji. I say minya boa for boamia. Come any better pa.
These young men are the face of a broken justice delivery system. Eastern Regional Commander of Prisons, DDP Patrick Thomas Siedu, says the facility is at a breaking point.
Yeah, he to those who are the condemned cells when they serve 10 years, and they are always qualified for the grant of presidential amnesty. So over some period of time now, it has not happened. So when they serve 10 years, based on the good conduct and steady industry, they are committed to life imprisonment. The facility was built for a particular capacity. So now you know that we are overstretching the capacity of the facility. It is a challenge feeding because they are being fed on 1 cedi 80 pesos a day. And then this has persisted over a decade ago. And then we know what is obtained currently in the market.
Backlogs, broken systems, and forgotten lives until reforms come and justice finds its way behind these walls, the crisis would only deepen. Stephen Menson's report for Joy News.
Let's take you now to the Ashanti region, where commercial transport operators plying the Ejisu one-way stretch in the Ejisu municipality in the Ashanti region have withdrawn their services in protest of poor roads. On Monday, all drivers refused to render services to passengers who use the route, leaving many commuters stranded. Some of the drivers who defied the orders were stopped in the middle of the road by passengers and forced to alight by individuals who were taking over the place. Now, it took the police intervention to restrain them from blocking the road entirely in the course of the protest. There's more in this report.
Commercial transport operators in their numbers thronged onto the Ejisu Onyu road to register their displeasure. It took police intervention to restrain them from blocking the road entirely in the course of the protests. Following the demise of former MP John Ablekuma in March 2024, the government made efforts to fix the deplorable road. The road condition became a subject of interest in the heat of campaigning for a successor for the MP. The road has further deteriorated, riddled with potholes and dust. Though some civil works are finished, more will have to be done to make the road motorable.
The road is bad, and for that reason our vehicles break down easily. We spend a lot to fix the cars. All leaders should focus on fixing the road. Last week, I spent more than the money I accrued from my work on mechanical faults. We used to have 40 drivers who ply the stretch, but they have all left due to the poor roads. I am now pleading with other drivers to consider plying the road.
Member of Parliament for the area, Kwabena Boateng, pledges to do his part in ensuring the road is fixed.
On my part, I've had some conversations with the road minister. I've spoken to, I once had a conversation at the airport with the regional chairman. We are making some progress in respect of, correspondence. The expectation is for the action to happen so that the government will pay the contractor and then the contractor will come back to the road and then see to the completion of the road.
Meanwhile, the drivers have presented a petition to the municipal chief executive, Jareen Asante. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Ejisu.
They are the reigning Central Regional champions, and they've just sent another bold reminder of why. Adesader College, defending their title, has delivered a commanding performance in the opening contest, recording the highest score so far in the regional qualifiers. But while Adisco's win drew cheers, it was heartbreak once again for the Holy Child School. For the second year running, they've been knocked out, and this time by Winneba SHS. There's more in this report by Adobe Asare.
Specific name of the housefly. Adesader College.
Musca domestica.
The 2025 National Science and Math Quiz Central Regional Qualifiers continues unabated. It's intense, it's electrifying. Day 2 saw 14 schools battling for their only available 3 slots for the day. Edinaman Senior High School secured the first slot by dominating in all 4 rounds and ending with 41 points.
It's so great to be in here. It's been exciting, and we are proud of our school.
So when you were not leading the first round, did you shake a bit?
At first, we were just a bit sitting for a while, because at first we were thinking we were losing the competition, but our team says per Kokan, so we strive to go forward. Thank you.
The second slot of the day was secured by Winneba Senior High School, beating Holy Child, making it a second consecutive time of not making an appearance in the national championship.
I'm very excited. I'm very elated. My boys didn't learn. They were playing. This contest is that down ball. It's a down ball contest for us. You get it? We are going to win the national. You get it? I want to win the national. You know Goro. Tell me who's Goro. You know Goro. You know Nanaya. You know Carlos. These three. See. God the Father, the Son, and the... Listen.
Reigning regional champions at Disadel College stamped their authority by winning massively with 85 points, the highest points not only of the day, but of the entire competition so far.
Enough for happening. Yes.
Why?
Too soft. You don't It wasn't a contest at all.
See, as the battle of David and Goliath, they thought that David cannot do anything, could not do anything. But because of the hand of God, they will see the finger of the Lord. This year, they will see the finger of the Lord.
Well, it's time for showbiz, and Becky Bex joins me in the studio.
Hello to you, Fosti. Good to be back.
Another week has started.
Another week. We pray for life this week. We pray for peace. We pray for happiness.
Amen.
I think that's very important with all the things that is happening in
Ghana
and in Ghana. Very sad, but obviously, Fosti, let's talk about show business. It looks like our musicians have been busy this past weekend, from Stoneboy to Manifest to Black Sherif in London, and also to Shatta Wale performing this weekend at the stadium for the Presidential Cup. We have all the details here for you this evening. So, Shatta Wale ending our report for this evening for all the things that has happened at the weekend. Tomorrow we're expecting a whole lot more happening in the movie industry and, of course, in the music industry, because a lot has been happening in the music industry.
Shatta should come around and spray more money.
Is that...
That's all I got from the video.
So there's more actually on Shatta's performance on myjoyonline.com.
Okay.
The fact that organizers say that he hasn't charged them for that performance.
And I'm sure that's coming up on your screen.
On there. Okay, yeah. So when you log on to My Joy Online, that's it. Also, Shatta Wale is urging the youth to support President Mahama's government, the administration. Shatta Wale says that you guys should support it. There's a lot that Shatta Wale did at the weekend, and this is also, the very first time I've seen like a whole trailer of, something that he's done in terms of performance, documenting all the performance from the house to, the venue and for the performance and all of that. Shatta, thank you for that. Made our work easy for us. Yeah, so please log on to myjoyonline.com. Tomorrow we have a lot more for you.
Yes.
Here on the channel. Log on to myjoyonline.com, Fosti, right?
Yes, indeed.
That's where you find all the news. Please pay attention.
And we have to go.
Yeah, we have to go. Yeah, it's time already.
Yes.
Oh, that's...
So I've been doing this with Becky, the one and only.
Yeah, all the time. Thank you for watching. We love you.
Bye.
Pius will be here, by the way, for Joy News Prime Business. Showbiz, yeah.
I promise you could be there of your day. If you don't know, you for act, stop rushing. This city, the scene it brushing. On God, me, I promise you will be there of your day. Sabotage, them try sabotage.